Okay, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala Rasulil Kareem. You got the verse there, the right verse on the screen, eh? Got the verse on the screen. Right. Okay, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala Rasulihil. So we were discussing, this is where we reached. Musa alayhi salam had gone to Fir'aun and his people, and he uh, exhibited an outstanding display of a true miracle, right? And they, while they were too stubborn to admit that this was not something ordinary, so they attributed it to sihr. They attributed it to sihr. Nevertheless, they gathered their people. They gave an order to gather their people, and I call you Musa. Okay, so they gathered their people up, and they tried to bring the best magicians to try to neutralize or try to beat Musa alayhi salam, right? And then the last thing we discussed that these people, when they were headhunted or they were asked whether they want to come on board, the first thing they said is, "Yes, we'll come on board, but what is in it for us?" So we told you that is the main criterion for deciding who are the men of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who are the Rijalullah and who are the Rijalud Dunya. The Rijalullah will say, "What is in it for me? What is it in for me?" But the person of sorry, there's a Rijalul Dunya, but Rijalullah will say, how can I serve the deen, right? So we done that so far. Okay, read the Arabic, inshallah. Okay, read the verse. وَجَاءَ السَّحَرَةُ فِرْعَوْنَ. Right. So Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وَجَاءَ السَّحَرَةُ فِرْعَوْنَ قَالُوا إِنَّ لَنَا لَأَجْرًا إِن كُنَّا نَحْنُ الْغَالِبِينَ. So all these magicians, they came to Fir'aun and they said, إِنَّ لَنَا لَأَجْرًا, will there be for us a reward? إِن كُنَّا نَحْنُ الْغَالِبِينَ, if we are successful, if we beat Musa alayhi salam. قال نعم, yes, definitely. وَإِنَّكُمْ لَمِنَ الْمُقَرَّبِينَ, you will be made from the inner circle. You will be made from the close people. You will be made from our close people. So يخبر تعالى أما تشارت عليه فرعون والسحرة الذين استدعاهم لمعارضة موسى عليه السلام. So in this verse, يخبر, Allah Ta'ala is informing أما تشارت عليه, about that which Fir'aun and the magicians agreed upon. Tasharata, the conditions they stipulated. الذين استدعاهم, the one which he called him, the one which Fir'aun headhunted them, right? Why had they hunted them? لمعارضة موسى عليه السلام, to oppose Musa عليه السلام. In غلبوا Musa, that if they are able to overpower Musa, in other words, if they are able to present a better display, a more dazzling display of sorcery. Like in Ghala was a Liu, uh, what is that word that you can see that? La Liu, La yuthibannahum, wala ya'tiyannahum ata'an ya. So, liyuthibannahum said, so that he may reward them, wala yu'tiyannahum, and that he will grant them ata'an jazila, a great reward. Right? So if in Ghalabu ala Musa, that if they're able, because remember, he was told already by his people that a person is going to be born in the kingdom that is going to unseat him from his power. So he was already scared. He was already shaking on his throne. So he promised great reward. Look, la yuthibannahum wa la yu'tiyanahum ata'an jazila فوعدهم ومناهم. So he promised them, right, ومناهم, and he promised them أن يعطيهم ما أرادوا, that he will give them what they want. ويجعلهم من جلسائه, and he will make them from his close people. والمقربين, in that is close by him. فلما توثقوا من فرعون لعن الله. So now, once they reach this agreement, what happened next? Right? Follow, read the next verse. Right. Okay. So then, now they met. Now the big showdown came. Fir'aun is there. The magicians of Fir'aun is there and Musa alayhi salam is there. So they said, oh Musa, either you throw first or shall we be the ones to throw? He said, okay, you throw, you start. Show us what you can do. قالوا يا موسى إما أن تلقي وإما أن نكون نحن الملقين. The Arabic word alqa yulqi means to drop something down. On the day of encounter, the sorcerers asked the Prophet Musa, if you drop down his staff first or should they throw theirs first? The question of the sorcerers was perhaps to show the complacency about the art, though the mode of the sins indicated that they wanted to start first. But for giving an impression of power to the opponent, they put that question. Since the Prophet Musa salam had nothing to fear about, invited them saying to drop. So here he's saying, normally you, when you are in a fight or in a contest, you need to project strength. You need to project strength because you don't want to project weakness. Why? Because you that will embolden your enemy, right? So he's gonna overpower you. So now you will show a, like you say, a nonchalant attitude. Look here, you can do what you want to. You throw first or I throw first, or you can start the show. Or I like I'll even maybe have a batting match. You know that the opponent is, you have a cricket match. The opponent is so weak, it doesn't matter if we bat first or he bat first, doesn't matter, we're gonna beat him either way. Right? Or hit me here, just hit me, this person can't harm you, so he can hit you first, you're not worried about it, right? But if the guy is strong, if you're gonna hit you, maybe you won't stand up, you will not be able to stand up and see another day. You won't be able to give him another shot. So exact same thing here. So here in the Shara, they're saying that they want to give this impression that they are strong, and they wanted to give this impression that they don't care that Musa alayhi salam can start first. But in reality, if you look at the tone of the voice, they were intimidated by Musa because they heard already what he was capable of. They heard already what he was capable of. So even though they say that you can throw, we don't follow ya Musa, imma an tulqi wa imma an nakuna nahnu or we throw, it doesn't matter. But there was a hint in their voice that they were intimidated and they were scared. Okay, read the next verse. Right, so Musa alayhi salam also, he knew that Allah Ta'ala is with him. He knew Allah Ta'ala will not fail him. So he said, you throw. So when they threw, they bewitched the eyes of the people. See, وَسَحَرُوا أَعْيُنَ النَّاسِ وَسَحَرُوا أَعْيُنَ النَّاسِ. Remember, what does it show you? This word itself, what does it tell you? وَسَحَرُوا أَعْيُنَ النَّاسِ. It tells you that they did not perform a real miracle. They only fooled the people. And remember, that is why we told you, we said earlier, that a miracle is something which happens contrary to habit. It's two ways you can explain this in Arabic. Kharifun anil adat, it's out of the normal habit. Of ma fawqa al-asbab, it doesn't follow the normal pattern of things in the dunya. It doesn't follow the normal pattern. And we told you, sihr is that way. It does follow the normal pattern. It is dakhilun anil adat, but only the real cause of it is concealed. That's what I'm saying. So, for example, simple example to understand is I make a 10 rand here appear from nowhere, right in my hand. So, if it's a prophet that done this, we understand by example, then really the 10 rand came from nowhere. Well, there was no 10 rand that came into existence for the first time. That's a miracle. But if I'm a magician, what I'm saying is the 10 rand would have come from somewhere. Maybe it was concealed in my sleeve or something, but only you as an individual didn't see it. You understood that? So it is. So sihr, it follows the normal pattern of cause and effect, but only the cause is not seen. And that you can understand from the words وَسَحَرُوا أَعْيُنَ النَّاسِ, and they bewitched the eyes of the people, right? وَاسْتَرْهَبُوهُمْ, and they struck terror in their heart. وَجَاءُوا بِسِحْرٍ عَظِيمٍ, and they came with a great sorcery, with a great magic. Ibn Kathir said the Prophet Musa behaved with them politely by inviting them to have the turn first. The effect of this behavior was that they accepted the fate after the defeat. Subhanallah. Interesting point here. He's saying because they came arrogant, you can throw, or we throw, it doesn't matter. But Musa alayhi salam from the beginning, he was polite with them. This is a lesson for all of us. He was polite with them. So when you are rude and arrogant, you making that person your personal enemy. So even what you're gonna do after that, what you're gonna say is the truth, but you've already lost your man. You already lost your man. You've already shown him that you his enemy. So he's not going to be receptive. So even though in his mind you might know that what this person is saying the truth, what this person is saying the truth, what he's doing is the truth, but you've already lost him, you've already antagonized him. So yeah, interesting point. One of the reasons why they were ready to save Musa alayhi salam after is because he was polite with him from the very beginning. So the effect of this behavior is that they were accepted the fate after the defeat. Here we are faced with the question: the sorcery is an impermissible act, especially when it is used to oppose the Prophet. It becomes an act of infidelity. How then did Musa alayhi salam give permission of magic to the sorcerers by saying, "You drop first"? Well, as little thought we can find the answer. It was certain that the sorcerers will show the magic by all means. The point of conversation was to decide who should start the contest. They're just saying, like, how did Musa allow them to do magic? You know, magic is haram. So the answer is that, look, they were going to do it either way. Whether they were going to do it first or they're going to second. So it was just a question of when they're going to do it. It's not that you permitted it, right? So the Prophet Musa allowed him to begin. Another advantage of the strategy was that the people could see their performance and the sorcerers had all the time to show their art and turn their staves into snakes. Then the stave of Musa salam to turn into a serpent and eat up all the snakes. Thus, the open defeat of magic would be exhibited before the people. So the idea was that they must do their thing, and then Musa will do his thing, alayhi salam, that will overpower their thing. You understand what I'm saying? فلما ألقوا سحروا أعين الناس واسترهبوا ما جاءوا بسحر. So when they threw, they bewitched the eyes of the people and made them frightened and came out with great sorcery. This verse indicates that this demonstration of the magic was just a bewitching of the eyes. It just wasn't the real thing, right? It was of the people which made them see the stars and strings as snakes leaping on the ground, while the strings and the staffs did not change physically. It not change physically. It was a kind of mesmerizing, hypnotizing the mind of the lookers. I told you, it was not real. This does not mean the sorcery is confined only in this kind, and it cannot be changed something another as we not have any proof against it. On the contrary, many forms and kinds of magic have been taken as being reality. The terms of magic and sorcery are usually applied for all acts that seem to happen in an unusual way. Sleight of the hand, telepathic influences, and mesmerism are sometimes called magic. Transformation of one thing into another through magic may be possible, but we have no valid reason or proof against it. So here, Mufti Sahib is mentioning something interesting. What he's saying here is that even though here, what what the sorceress done, that was not real. It was not real. It was a, a deceit. It was an illusion, or they played on the minds of the people. Right? This is what happened. But he says here, Mufti Sahib says clearly, it does not negate the fact that sometimes sorcery or jadoo, or what we call jadoo in Urdu, in Arabic, what sihr, it cannot transform the reality of something. Sometimes, like I've been explaining all the time here, that sihr is not a reality. It is just where the reason, the sabab is concealed, remember? But here, so he says no, that it can be the different type of sihr, where you can actually transform something. So magic, yeah, different types. Magic, yeah, different types. Although the type that the sorcerers in the time of Fir'aun, what they done, that sorcery was just a mesmerization. It was an illusion. It wasn't real, right? Okay, read there now. Read the Arabic, inshallah. هذه مبارزة من السحرة. Remember I told you done in Nahwa that فعلة is also a scale. Like how you say فاسق, فسقة, فاجر, فجرة, عادل, عدلة. So ساحر, سحرة is also a plural of sahir, right? So هذه مبارزة من السحرة. This is a competition from the sorcerers. موسى عليه السلام في قولهم فإما أن تلقي وإما أن نكون نحن عليهم So this was now the show of the stand of Baraza. You remember you done in Qasas part 5 when you used to have a battle, and then before the battle started, you have a one-on-one. You know, person, Mayubaris. Don't tell me you forgot this. Alhamdulillah, I remember it from 25 years ago. You couldn't forget it. Because Ali was always the first one, was ready to come out. And like that, one person come, another person, two people, and like that, the battles will start. Isn't it Qasas part 5? Or am I imagining? Or you remember? Baraza, Yubaris, or Mubaraza. ثم هذه مبارزة من السحرة لموسى عليه السلام. This was now the stand of the competition from the sorcerers for Musa عليه السلام in his heart. إما أن تلقي وإما أن نكون نحن الملقين. Either you must throw وإما أن نكون نحن الملقين, or either we will throw. We can decide whoever, right? Carry on. Right. Or we will throw before you. كما قال في, like how he said in another verse, the same thing, right? So you right. So you see, what is it? إما أن تلقي وإما أن نكون نحن. Either you throw or we throw, right? Right. So in other words, we don't. I tell you, this is supposed to be like a display of strength, a display of confidence, but they were feigning it. They were faking it. Even if you're weak, you must still feign strength, right? Carry on. Right. وإما أن نكون أولا, or either we will be the first. So قال له موسى ألقوا, you throw. Don't worry, go ahead, you throw. Yeah. So the hikmah of this of Musa, you throw first, right? Like, Wallahu a'lam, Allah knows best. لِيَرَى النَّاسُ صَنِيعَهُمْ وَيَتَعَمَّلُوا. So that the people may see their action and they can ponder, they can see that, and then they see Musa and stuff, and they ponder, see this is fake, right? بعد التطلب. Yeah. So you see, فَإِذَا فَرَغُوا مِنْ بَهْرَجَتِهِمْ جَاءُهُمْ. So when they finish, so what I'm saying is that the last thing you must hear is the truth. That will have the most effect. So that the person who has the last say, normally he is most effective, right? So be the last one to speak the truth, so that will settle more in the mind of the listener, right? فإذا فرغوا من بهرجهم جاءهم الحق. Then the truth, الحق الواضح, the truth الواضح, الحق الواضح الجلي, the truth will come to them. بعد التطلب, after they are seeking it. والانتظار منهم, after they've been waiting for it. لمجيء, that came to him. فيكون أوقع في النفوس, so it will be more settling in their heart. So the thing that comes last, that is the thing that settles more in heart, right? So the thing that comes last, it will be more settling in the heart. Okay, we have to stop there. We've got the students waiting for us. We just stop there. We'll continue.